This is Kyle Madson with your top stories. On Sports 1140, the Cleveland Browns won last night. Yeah, they beat the Jets 21-17 behind Baker Mayfield. He was 17 of 23 for 201 yards. He came in late in the first half after Tyrod Taylor, the starter, left with a concussion. I guess that's Tyrod Taylor. I've been saying it wrong all morning. For the now 1-1-1 Browns, not the 1-2 Browns. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people have been getting that wrong.
A lot of people have. By the way, Tyrod Taylor, and I put this out last week. I was very excited about this. It's also Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
And Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. They both confirmed that.
And it's actually pronounced Kyle Smith.
Kyle Smith, not Madson?
Yeah, Madson, pronounced Smith.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The Niners go to Kansas City tomorrow, Sunday, to face the Chiefs, while the Raiders play the Dolphins in Miami. That's on Sunday. We'll have that game for you right here on Sports 1140. Kickoff set for 10 o'clock, and the A's had a big win yesterday. They beat the Angels 21-3. It's 7:02. Tickets are going quickly for Folsom Live, the street party in historic Folsom. Live music and dancing in the streets. Details at folsomlive.com.
Ah, nice.
I'm not.
You got it. I nailed it.
Wait, what? Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning. You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
You know, I've covered the sport of MMA almost since its inception. And for a while, I did a mixed martial arts show on the weekends, The MASH. I know the sport fairly well, but I couldn't have been more wrong last, spring, when Conor McGregor threw the dolly through the bus window. I said he's done for at least a year. That he's probably going to jail. If he's not going to jail, he's certainly going to be suspended by the commissions. You know, and I had people saying, "You're an idiot." Are you kidding me? He makes too much money. He's going to come back, and by the way, they're going to use this in the promos. Like, this is all going to be to hype up a fight. I'm not even sure it's not fake. It's like, no. Listen, there's lines Dana White won't cross. This is one of them. There's no way. Dana may not even want to do business with Conor anymore. Did you see the look on his face? Did you see him talking? Boy, was I a sheep. My God. Couldn't have been more wrong on that. Because here we go. Conor McGregor is going to fight Khabib.
Yep.
Nurmagomedov. No, it's not. It's Nurmagomedov, and I can never say it. Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov. Ugh. Get a nickname, dude.
Did you hear what Conor McGregor said about possibly going to prison?
Nah, probably. I would have done it with every single guy in there. That's not what he said. It's not Conor's voice. But he did say a lot. He did say a lot yesterday. That press conference was so weird. There were no fans involved. None. There were no fans. Because they didn't want things going crazy. Dana White is so gun-shy and worried about this fight getting canceled. It was him, Khabib, and Conor on stage, and that's it. And half of the press conference was Conor McGregor pushing his Irish whiskey that he's got out. Well, in addition to that, it was announced that he now has a 6-fight deal with the UFC, including the October 6th matchup. And his whiskey will be a sponsor at every event in which he fights, and it will be on the canvas. He'll have a logo on the canvas. He already is stupid rich. He's going to be beyond stupid rich. Nurmagomedov is a slight favorite in this fight. Here's another chance at a bad take, but I think when all's said and done and they step in that ring, I think it's going to switch, and Conor will be the slight favorite in this fight.
A lot of public money will come in.
A lot of public money is going to come in. This is going to be, I don't know that there's going to be hugs after this fight. That presser yesterday, at one point, Conor was trying to offer him a drink of the whiskey. Khabib said, no, I don't drink, whatever. He called him a backwards C word. Well, Khabib, he's Muslim. He doesn't drink. He's very devout. He does not drink. And Conor ripped him for that. You trying to figure out what he called him? Okay. I'll tell you off the air. Say what you want about Conor McGregor. You're the knob. He knows how to. He took an empty room and an impossible situation and turned it into quite the entertaining press conference and sold many, many pay-per-views. And that is exactly why he signed a 6-fight deal. Just goes to show you, in the sport of mixed martial arts, it's something I need to learn because I'm too much of a, whatever you call it, optimist in that situation. There is no ethical line that will not be crossed. Oh, and remember yesterday when I said John Jones will be on that December 3rd card at Madison Square Garden? Yeah, that was wrong too, because Dana White said flat out, John Jones will not be on the card. So there you go. If you want an MMA take, do not come to me because obviously I know nothing about the sport anymore. What I do know is Space Jam 2 is coming out. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Kyle, you know what I thought of the first movie? I'll be honest. Hot take here.
Go ahead.
I don't know what I thought of the first movie. I never saw it. You've admitted many, many times in this world the lack of movies you've seen. I might be the one guy in the world that has not seen Space Jam. And it's not on purpose. It's not like I was boycotting Space Jam. I just didn't see it. And then time went on. It's kind of like Seinfeld or The Simpsons, the other two big holes in my pop culture world. Time goes on. I'm just like, yeah, I haven't seen it. I feel like I need to go back and watch it just because so many people talk about it.
Here's the thing with it, is if you didn't experience it when it came out, it didn't age great.
Yep.
It's a nice like nostalgia kick for sure. And I watch it probably once a year.
Wow.
But it's not a great movie.
I do, however, through osmosis and so many people talking about it, like I have a full understanding of the plot, what happens, what the deal is, and all that. So I can actually talk about it. And I could have gotten away with talking about it without anyone knowing I hadn't seen the movie, but I feel like that would be dishonest and unethical. But I do know we're going to need some new Monstars. I do know we're going to need some participants. So of the current NBA players going right now, I think the easiest thing in the world, honestly, would be to make the Warriors starting 5 your Monstars.
Now, does LeBron want? Is he going to use this movie as like an avatar for his career, where he does just like he's like, hey, because you would need the Warriors to all agree to be in the movie.
Sure.
Or do you want? Because my whole thing is like I'm trying to find direct comparisons because the original Monstars were Muggsy Bogues.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Barkley, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, and Sean Bradley. I think that's right.
I think you're right, too. It was Bogues, Ewing, Bradley, who and who?
Larry Johnson and Barkley.
Okay. You don't need to look that up. Kyle's going straight to his computer to make sure he got it right.
Yeah, no, that's right. I wanted to ensure Ewing was the last one. So, like, when you're looking at the point guard, it's going to be Stephen Curry. But, like, Muggsy Bogues wasn't great.
No.
He was just an okay player. So, if you're going direct comparison, give me Jeff Teague. Give me Jeff Teague to be the new point guard of the Monstars.
But wasn't Muggsy Bogues' gimmick that he was 5'3"? And that's how, like, nobody knows who nobody could pick Jeff Teague out of a lineup.
So when Muggsy Bogues in the few years before that movie came out were his 3 best years, he averaged 10.6 points and 9.2 assists.
Sure.
On 46%.
Could you make James Harden a Monstar?
Not if you're trying to go direct comparison, I don't think.
I mean, who's really like the bad guy in? I mean, does Kevin Durant have to be a Monstar basically?
Okay, so you're looking for. So you want like NBA players who are
dislikable.
Okay, so that's what you're aiming for. Mm-hmm. So it's clear you haven't seen the movie because they don't go after like, hey, this is a mean player. They don't take on the personalities of the players. They just take their skills.
Right, but my version's better. I'm looking to bring this movie franchise into a new world.
Russell Westbrook's in there.
Absolutely.
Russell Westbrook's in there. So we're looking dislikable NBA players. Draymond Green's got to be in there.
Absolutely. Kevin Durant would have to be in there. He's the most disliked player in the NBA.
Okay. Westbrook, Durant.
Westbrook, Durant. Who's the third one you said?
Draymond.
Yes,
Draymond's in
yes,
there.
yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Durant.
I mean, Draymond's better than Charles Barkley was anyways, so.
LOL.
That's a joke. Don't text me. Who else is there? Do you put Chris Paul in there?
That would be actually, if you put Paul, oh my God, if you went Paul Westbrook and then you went Durant, Draymond, and then what? Like
Boogie?
Yeah. Boogie kind of has to be a Monstar.
Zaza?
I think he nailed it with Boogie.
Not even if he still played for the Pelicans.
Yeah. Absolutely. Even if he still played for the Kings. Of course you have to put Boogie in there. He can totally play a bad guy.
I'm super fascinated to see how, if they're just going to reboot the movie or if they're gonna like pick up where the last one left off.
I'm very curious to see if Michael Jordan's going to have any involvement in this next movie. Will there be some sort of a handoff, a passing of the torch?
I don't think so. I don't think he wants to acknowledge it.
Blake Griffin, Hassan Whiteside.
So the Monstars aren't like the players. Like the players during Space Jam are all like going through testing to try and find out, and it's like a little side bit. It's kind of funny. So that's where you would need somebody who's like funny. Like Charles Barkley is super funny in this movie.
Hassan Whiteside's pretty funny. I mean, he does have
Blake
charisma.
Griffin is very funny.
Very funny. Kyrie could be in this one, but is Kyrie going to be in? I don't think Kyrie's going to touch this because of the Uncle Drew stuff.
Yeah, definitely not.
Lance Stevenson.
Ooh.
Isaiah Thomas, I kind of like that in the Muggsy Bogues role.
Ooh.
That's really good.
Is he going to want to work with LeBron, though? There's a lot of layers to this, man.
A lot of people, by the way, saying, I'm surprised. Thank you, guys. Even if you're lying, a lot of people saying they haven't seen it either. A lot more than I thought.
That's because a lot of our listeners are older than me. I was 6 when the movie came out.
That is true. That's why I think it kind of...
Yeah, it's like if it's a generational thing. I mean, I'm not...
You're not
I just, as a sports guy, I thought you'd see the highest grossing basketball movie of all time.
Oh, no. By the way, the Mike Trout tweet's starting to take off.
Yes.
Yeah. How about the fact the whole team can't stay healthy or best pitcher can't pitch?
Oh, you're getting ratioed.
Yes, I
hard.
am. This isn't, but wasn't that really what we're looking for? That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, we'll take a break. We'll have to update you on that. 4 Down Territory is next, right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is the Lowdown. The Lowdown.
Human foosball, like the big sumo suits. There's just it's gonna be fun.
Okay, one more time.
You know
There's
those
human foosball.
Yeah, so you know like foosball the game, but like you are the player.
Are we like handcuffed to like sticks or something?
That I'm not sure. Hopefully there's no handcuffs.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
The Lowdown with Damian Barling and Jason Ross. Weekdays from noon to 3.
Right here.
On Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
The stylish Toyota Camry is sleek and dependable, so you can drive with confidence. And the deals are better than ever. Come in now and get $1,000 cash back on a 2018 Camry or Camry Hybrid. Plus, every Camry comes with Toyota Safety Sense and Toyota Care 2 years no-cost maintenance standard. Wouldn't it be nice to turn heads in your new Camry? Cashback is available through TMNA and must be applied to transaction. Offers end 10/1/18.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Toyota, let's go places.
2018's most anticipated tour is coming. Jason LD High Noon Neon Tour. September 27th, Toyota Amphitheater with special guests Luke Combs and Lauren Elena. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Jason Aldean, live.
This Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute brought to you by the 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. It's time to lower the boom on Sir Craig Reedy. Who's he? He's the president of the World Anti-Doping Agency, which disgracefully lifted a 3-year suspension of Russia's Anti-Doping Association. Russia came under scrutiny after investigators uncovered evidence of systemic cheating among athletes, coaches, officials, and of course government agencies. The country's track athletes were banned from international competition, and many of its other athletes were barred from the 2016 Summer Olympics. Russia's Anti-Doping Association incurred sanctions after its labs were caught tampering with samples to protect its athletes at the Sochi Winter Olympics. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, the U.S. Olympic Committee, and clean athletes everywhere are appalled that Reedy, an IOC political hack, relaxed agreed-upon standards to placate Vladimir Putin and his henchmen. I'm Boomer Esiason.
It's Ford F-150 radio, so Ford, the official truck of the NFL, is recognizing the Built Ford Tough Offensive Line of the Week. Marty, go.
Muirhawk in high school, the Purple Panthers, that was an offensive line.
Ford F-150 is saluting the best NFL O-line. And like those O-lines, the Ford F-150 doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
I remember the big game, state semis.
Go to NFL.com and follow NFL analyst and former Pro Bowl center Sean O'Hara as he picks the Built Ford Tough Offensive Line of the Week.
There are 3 things every homeowner wants their home to be: smarter, safer, and more fun. What if I told you could do all 3 in one product? Introducing the OneLink Safe and Sound, a hardwired smart smoke and carbon monoxide alarm with a premium home speaker and Amazon Alexa voice assistant in one sleek device. Built with First Alert safety technology and providing an immersive, great sound experience, the Safe and Sound elevates any home. Learn more at onelink.firstalert.com. That's onelink.firstalert.com.
We had just gotten home from vacation, and Richie had to go downstairs to grab something out of the dryer, and he had set foot in about 3 to 4 inches of water.
Well, what happened was the pressure relief valve for the hot water heater had failed, and it just leaked water while we were gone.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
With her being pregnant, the in-laws coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world. I called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. They took care of everything, A to Z. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
See how much you could save with USAA by bundling your auto and home insurance. Get a quote today.
Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Product membership eligibility and bundling savings restrictions apply and are subject to change. Members paid for their participation. United Services Automobile Association and its affiliate, San Antonio, Texas.
Paul Blanco wants his new Kia dealership to be #1. Paul sells 1,000 used cars a month, so Paul can afford to give good deals on new Kias just to prove a point. So use Kia's giant factory rebates and let banks compete to get you approved. Only at paulblancokia.com.
It's time for 4 Down territory on the drive. First down.
4 Down territory brought to you by Fire Wings. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Hey, just wing it. Sean Salisbury coming up in about 15 minutes. Dave Richard, CBS Sports, coming up at 8:05. We'll take all of your fantasy football start, sit, waiver wire questions. Kyle Madison.
That's me.
That's you. Question number 1.
Should Baker Mayfield be the starter in Cleveland?
Yes, of course. We talked about this earlier. Hugh Jackson's getting crap, including from you. You basically started it about his quote about needing to look at tape. And I'm going to ask Sean Salisbury about this quote.
Obviously, I like to watch the tape. Obviously, Baker did some great things.
Yeah, you get the point. I had said I'm fine with that because I don't want Tyrod Taylor in the concussion tent finding out he's not starting. That aside, yeah, Hugh Jackson would get fired before the game if he announced that Baker Mayfield was not the starting quarterback. One quick stat for you, Kyle, and then I'll let you reply. The Cleveland Browns are undefeated when Baker Mayfield plays.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to start. He was the better player last night. It wasn't like Tyrod Taylor was just struggling a little bit. He was 4 of 14 for 19 yards and just missing open receivers. He was just wholly ineffective.
Okay. Well, we're in agreement. Not much of a sports radio argument there.
Okay, fine. Baker Mayfield shouldn't start because this is a team that's not going to the playoffs, and you can't risk having your number one pick get hurt.
You need to lay off the weed. Second down.
Second down.
What's your most compelling non-local game of the weekend?
Okay, so your rule is your corner of the store here, Kyle. Does it have to be the weekend?
No.
So it can be Monday?
Yeah, just to appease guy who always texts in and is like, you guys say a weekend, but actually it's on Thursday and Monday.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case.
That's a real person, by the way.
That's an actual real person. He lives on 16th Street. If that's the case, the most compelling game to me is the Bucs and Steelers. Because I need to know more about these teams. I need to know with all the drama going on in Pittsburgh. I need to know with everything Antonio Brown said, the Le'Veon Bell situation. Does Mike Tomlin still have control of the team? They tied the Browns. They lost to the Chiefs. I don't know what they are, but I do know they're favored in Tampa Bay by 1.5. And Tampa Bay, along with Cleveland, let's not forget, feel-good story of the NFL season so far. So I need to see if that fits magic, Kyle's nickname, works, or if the Steelers,
I made that up.
Or if the Steelers end up Pittsburghing and going in there and winning 42-7. So that to me is the most compelling non-local game of the weekend.
I like Chargers-Rams.
LA versus LA?
Yeah, in the battle for the team that'll get overlooked once basketball season starts.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rams are going to win, but I'm interested to see what the Chargers can do against them. Just with some of the pieces they have on the offensive side and on defense. That should be fun to watch. I'm also looking forward to Patriots-Lions.
We're doing Nostradamus later, so I will not do this game because of what I'm about to say. There is one game this weekend I am sure of the outcome. I'm sure of the winner. And I am so sure, and I mean this. I'll say this on the air. If they don't win, I will quit my job.
The Rams?
No. LA. They're going to win this weekend.
Yeah, it's a great dude. Oh my God, if they tie.
Yeah, ties count though. Ties count as a win. That's how it works in the betting world.
Oh, okay.
Third down.
It's not.
No, is that not right?
Third down.
If the Raiders lose in Miami, is it panic time?
Is it? Yes. Should it be? Probably not. It's a tough start to the schedule, man. It really is. You're playing what could be the best team in football in the Rams, and you lose. You were up by 3. We know the story there. I don't need to rehash it. Then you go in to Denver. Should have won. You lose by a point. They go into Miami and they lose, and let's say it's fairly close. Yeah, people are going to freak out. Why? Because John Gruden's 0-3. He's 0-3 to start his second run with the Raiders. Yes, people are going to panic, but unless something happens like Derek Carr gets injured again, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Something weird happens that causes that. All year long, it's going to be what the Raiders do and what did Khalil Mack do. That's how it's going to be all year long. But they've got the Browns at home, which, by the way, should still be a win for them. Then they go down and see the Chargers, and they have the Seahawks and Colts at home before the Niner game. So I would say there's plenty of opportunity for them to turn it around. They don't have the easiest schedule this year, at least not on paper. So I wouldn't start panicking after that. They probably, in fact, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be favored. They weren't favored in the first two. In fact, I know they weren't. They're not going to be favored in this game. They should be 0-3. That's how it should be. It's what we expect. They're not favored in Miami.
Yeah, Miami might be okay. Like, they might be a pretty good team.
Yeah.
And the Raiders clearly didn't think they were going to be any good this year anyway. So if their goal is to get as high of a draft pick as possible to go into next year with potentially a couple of top 15 picks, then great. But I mean, if you thought this team was going to the playoffs this year, then yeah, a loss on Sunday is panic time for sure.
Also, from the 209, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, from the 209. Fitzmagic is not a nickname given by Kyle. He's had it for 2 years.
No, I made it up.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this. Kyle got a lot of national publicity for the Fitzmagic thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that person's
I
talking
don't know
about.
what
2
they're
years
talking
ago,
about
I made it up during the first week of the season.
We had shirts and
everyone ran
everything.
with it.
Fourth down.
Fourth down. Fourth down.
Give me one team you need to see win this weekend to call them for real. I think we're going to have the same one.
Buccaneers.
Oh, okay.
No, mine's the Buccaneers. They're playing Pittsburgh at home. I need to see Tampa Bay do it once again. If they beat Pittsburgh at home, I'm still not going to be clocking them into the playoffs automatically, but they're going to be 3-0, and they will have beat Pittsburgh and 2 other teams. And at some point, you have to start looking at them with almost a fifth of the way through the season after this weekend being undefeated. Now, who knows? We've seen hot starts before, Kansas City, and seen them end up crumbling. But in this case, yeah, I need to see more from Tampa Bay because I don't know what to do with them right now.
I had the Bengals. They're 2-0.
Good one.
Couple of 34-23 wins to start the year. One over the Colts on the road. One over the Ravens on Thursday night. Now they're going into Carolina against a good offense. They're 3-point underdogs. If Cincinnati wins, this weekend, I think we can call them the favorites in the AFC North.
Great question for this weekend, by the way. Who will score more points over the weekend, the A's or the Raiders? That's a hell of a bet. And if you count Friday, you got to count today.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday versus what the Raiders score against Miami and that good defense.
I think the Raiders score more.
Okay, I'll take the A's. I'll say the A's are going to score more than the Raiders this weekend in 3 games combined.
Okay.
Just because. Also, someone wants us to weigh in on Jacksonville minus 6.5 over Tennessee being a gimme. I think on paper it's an absolute gimme. I think that's a 2-touchdown game. But stranger things have happened.
They should have been 2-touchdown games last year. The Titans blew them out in week 1 in Jacksonville and then beat them in the final week of the season. For some reason, the Titans just kind of have the Jags number.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the Jags going to win by 2. I mean, they should, talent-wise, especially if Marcus Mariota doesn't play. But we'll see. The Titans seem to, like I said, have their number.
Sean Salisbury is next. We will have him break down Baker Mayfield. And no texter person who just tuned in, we're not anointing Baker Mayfield the next quarterback Jesus. What we are saying is...
I am.
You are? Okay. I'm saying that's a hell of a first half start. First half for Baker Mayfield. And good for the Browns. They won. Let's not rain on their parade. Let's let them have their day, okay? Drives back in a couple. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sundays belong to the NFL. Saturdays are for college football. But it all started first on Friday. Join Matt George and Charles T. Hamilton every Friday night for the Friday Night Football Show, presented by Wingstop.
Are you ready for some football?
Recaps, scores, interviews, players, and coaches from your team.
Friday Night Football.
Northern California's Friday Night Football Show on Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
Yeah!
Truck Michael Dave here, driving around my 2019 Laramie 1500 Hemi from Hoblit Ram. That's right. Your number 1 Ram truck dealer in all of California, the only Ram truck center in the Sacramento Valley. Are they a partial service Ram dealership? Nope. Full service. Do they like to hassle and pressure you? Nope. No. No hassle. No pressure. None. They're just 7 minutes from the airport. They want you to drive off the lot beyond happy. And here's a little secret. Part of that reason, well, first off, they're good people. But part of that is because they want you to drive back on the lot in a couple years when you want another new truck and buy from them again. That's why they're so successful. And that's why they won the award for excellence from J.D. Power's Customer First. Why? Because they put the customer first. Take up to $12,000 off MSRP on the select 2019 Ram 1500 trucks, $18,000 off MSRP on select 2018 Ram 1500 trucks, and mention Carmichael Dave sent you. Get another $1,000 off as well. HoblettDodge.com. Get there today. And like I said, you tell them I sent you.
It's California Backyard's end-of-season jacuzzi in-stock clearance. Get the lowest prices of the year on all in-stock jacuzzi brand hot tubs. Find huge savings on all in-stock J200, 300, and 400 series hot tubs. And save $3,000 off all in-stock swim spas. There's free delivery, plus everything's included. Free cover, deluxe steps, chemical setup, and more. That's a $1,375 value for free. The jacuzzi in-stock clearance at all California Backyard locations.
Big things are happening at Stockton Honda with the introduction of the all-new redesigned 2019 Honda Insight Hybrid. This premium compact sedan provides appealing style and fuel efficiency that rivals other leading hybrid models. You gotta check out this premium compact sedan, the 2019 Honda Insight Hybrid. You won't be disappointed. Come in today and meet our friendly staff or go to StocktonHonda.com. Stockton Honda, anytime, anywhere.
So you say it hasn't happened to you yet. Well, we hope it never does. But chances are, sooner or later your pipes will clog and you'll have a drainage problem. It's a part of home ownership that stinks, sometimes literally, and DIY quick fixes won't cut it. Fortunately, the home service heroes at Bonnie can fly out to your house and make that big problem go away fast. Yep, in 8 out of 10 cases, Bonnie can make your drain problem go away by cabling out your drain line for just $97. And if you're the exception, you'll really be glad you called Bonnie and not some Jake with a snake plumbing and drain guy. Bonnie has the specialized cameras to diagnose your problem correctly. And our stand-up techs will show you the pictures, explain the problem, and lay out all your options. Plus, we'll fix the problem for the price quoted, guaranteed. So call Bonnie for your drain problems and we'll save the day fast. Typically for just $97. For details, go to Bonnie.com. License 696355. BONNEY. Bonnie.com.
Downtown Ford's huge 2017 model elimination sale is on, and we must get rid of every 2017 Ford by the end of the month. That means huge dealer discounts on the most popular Ford models like Explorer, F-150, Fiesta, Focus, and Fusion. All brand new vehicles at extreme elimination prices. If you want a brand new Ford on a pre-owned budget, this is the sale for you. Get all of the hot new safety features standard, like front pass sensing system and advanced track electronic stability control. And don't forget about all of the cool technology like sync communication and entertainment system, backup camera, and more. But hurry, there are only a few 2017 vehicles left during Downtown Ford's 2017 model elimination sale. And when they're gone, they're gone. Come see us today at 525 North 16th or online anytime at downtownfordsales.com. Downtown Ford, crummy location, great deals. With approved credit, not all buyers are qualified. Not available with special finance, lease, or other offers. See dealer for details.
Sports 1140 KHTK's coverage of high school football is presented by Wingstop. Listen every Friday night to the Wingstop High School Football Wrap-Up Show and get all the coverage on KHTK.com.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Hey, Kyle Madson, Sports Update, Sports 1140. Browns 21, Jets 17, A's 21, Angels 3, Red Sox 11, Yankees 6.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
The Niners head to Kansas City this weekend to face the Chiefs. The Raiders are in Miami to face the Dolphins. We'll have that for you right here on Sports 1140. Kickoff is set for 10 o'clock. I mentioned the A's won 21-3. They're now a game and a half back of the first wild card after the Red Sox beat the Yankees 11-6. And their magic number to clinch a playoff spot is down to 4 after the Rays blew a 6-run ninth-inning lead to lose to the Jays in Toronto last night, 9-8. It's 7:35. Tickets are going quickly for Folsom Live, the street party, and historic Folsom Live music and dancing in the streets. Details at folsomlive.com.
It's The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sean Salisbury will join us in just a couple of minutes. Brought to you by the Fire Wings Hotline. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it. Dave Richard of CBS Sports at 8:05. Talking fantasy. Kyle.
Yo.
The Mike Trout tweet, 3 retweets, 13 favorites, 20 replies.
Oof, you're getting...
And a bunch of quote tweets.
Ratioed.
Somebody did the SpongeBob thing where you capitalize in lowercase all the letters, copy my tweet, which, like I sound dumb. A lot of people are very upset. I tweeted earlier. It occurs to me that Mike Trout may in fact be a prime example of advanced statistics not telling the whole story. Can't win, can't make the playoffs, and when he does, he completely disappears. He's only had 100 RBI twice. Mike Trout equals overrated. Now, this is a bit. Obviously, I think Mike Trout's amazing. But we're trying to troll stat heads today. Kyle, I didn't think that was enough, so I've added to it now. Continuing the Mike Trout equals overrated conversation, he's a prime example as to why ERA, batting average, and wins are better barometers than WAR and VORP all day long. That usually will get the rest of them out.
Say batting average and what?
ERA, batting average, and wins are better barometers than WAR and VORP all day long. I'm just throwing out advanced statistics. But
nice, dude.
As we all know,
isn't VORP a basketball stat?
Is it? I think that's, yeah, I was like trying to make one silly one up.
Even better.
So the main thing there is wins and batting average are amazing barometers. Now, stat heads will tell you, what? That's horrible. Wins are the worst. And they are. They are. I'm just trying to make baseball fan stat head brain explode today. That's the fun today.
Sure.
Is just doing that. Just poking and poking and poking. As always, you can text or tweet The Drive at The Drive 1140. Make sure you use the hashtag Drive 1140. And much like we've seen today, your tweet might end up on our video cast, which is available at KH2K.com. Top right of the screen on your desktop. Middle to the bottom if you are on tablet or telephone. As Sean Salisbury gets ready to join us, our question today, who will score more this weekend? That's counting tonight, Saturday, and Sunday, and thanks to the texter for giving us that. The A's or the Raiders? The A's or the Raiders? Really, honestly. Raiders play in Miami. And the A's are going against Minnesota this weekend. The A's have 3 versus the Twins, and they have scored 31 runs in their last 2 games. Now, they're not going to keep that up all weekend, obviously. So the question is, have the A's worn out their bats, or are they on a roll right now? That's the question. Because Miami's got a pretty good defense. So if the Raiders go in there and score 21 points on Sunday, that would mean the A's would have to average 7 runs a game. That's a pretty tall order.
Considering they just scored 31 in 2 games.
What I just said, 31 and 21 last night. I'll ask Sean Salisbury about this. There's a reason why he knows everything. Sean Salisbury, Sports Talk 790 in Houston. You follow him online, though, at Sean Unfiltered. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Hey, good. What's happening, man? I'm great.
I'll ask you the trivia question we're asking. The A's are playing the Minnesota Twins at home this weekend. 3 games this weekend. So counting tonight, Saturday, and Sunday, the question is, will the Oakland Athletics score more this weekend than the Oakland Raiders in Miami?
No.
Raiders
will score more. It's been impressive to watch Oakland, and I love this playoff run and what Billy's done this year. They've been incredible. Trust me, they've been on the Astros' ass all year long, and the Astros, it's been a concern. Trust me, they've been in there crawling the whole year. So, but I'll take the Raiders. Now, Miami's playing pretty decent football right now, but the Raiders are due for a ball game, I think. We thought they had one last week. They got to play some better defense, and Tannehill's doing well. But I think the Raiders will put, even if they put 15 on the board, I don't see Oakland even. They got to come down to earth after 30-plus runs in 2 games against the pitiful Anaheim Angel team. But I'm gonna say no. I'll take the Raiders scoring more points than the Athletics do runs over the weekend.
Sean, in talking about the Raiders game last weekend, I hung my hat on this, so this is my own personal theory, although I'm sure others share it. Before the game, I put out, and you're like the third guy I've asked this week about this. The Broncos are 32-3 at home in the first 2 weeks of the season over the last 30 years. It's obviously a very dominant record. And what I said was, I think the Raiders are playing in Denver at the absolute wrong time. It's not snow. It's early in the year when you're just not in that midseason shape, and the elevation really gets to you. Now, second half, the Raiders got outplayed, much like they did at home versus the Rams. And I didn't want to make that the total excuse, because it's not. But as somebody who's played in Denver before, could you talk a little bit about whether or not the elevation is truly a factor, or if that's what big fat dudes like me who've never played football professionally say to excuse other teams?
You know, it's interesting, and maybe I was young and naive, but the best game of my career happened in Denver, in the NFL, and I didn't notice, I didn't really notice one bit of it. But the big fellas who are every single play beating on each other, weigh 300 pounds, I can get it. But yeah, no, there's no question it's different. Trust me, it does take an effect on you, and it's hard to prepare for. That's why that's why all of our world-class training athletes or cyclists or Olympic athletes train there, because if you can succeed at that altitude, then it works better for you. It's not a farce. It's fact. But for whatever reason, maybe the elevation may be high or something. But I played my best game on the planet when I was there, so I didn't notice much of it during the game. But guys do. Extra oxygen, you see it all the time. And I do believe it can become a factor, Dave. I do, and I'm not so sure. I don't know if it's just the fact that the Broncos played better in the second half. That had something to do with it. But it can wear you out. And if you're thinking about those things and it's tiring you out, and your legs aren't underneath you, and you can't get, you're not playing your best football, and then mentally it starts. The problem is when physically you're exhausted and things start to go haywire, or you're gasping and you need a little bit of rest. What happens is mentally you start to become, we all do, and I'm not saying they're cowards, but I think the great Vince Lombardi said it, that, if we're not physically fit, we become mental cowards, basically. And what happens is it starts to take over, and you start thinking about that as opposed to your assignment. All those things combined, I do believe, have something to do with it, and the fact that the Denver Broncos just know how to play well early in the season and get you, and they played well in the second half last week, and they're playing pretty decent football. But when you go into the film room, not one coach or player wants to make the excuse that, man, we went to Denver and that's why we lost, because that's a loser's lament, and you don't want to carry that around.
Sean Salisbury with us. So then going into this weekend's game, as a football player, would you rather play an elevation in Denver, or would you rather play in 88 degrees with 90% humidity in Miami wearing black on Sunday?
I would rather play in Denver.
Okay.
I would. Now, I'm a different. If you said, Sean, Arizona outdoors at 105, dry heat, I'll take that any day of the week.
Sure.
Yeah, I do. That stuff doesn't bother me. Matter of fact, I'm the guy who wants to play 36 holes of golf in 110-degree weather. That does not bother me. And for some reason, which is weird being a California guy and loving heat, like living in Arizona in my off seasons too when I was in Minnesota, yet a lot of my best games of my career, Dave, at any level, came in cold weather. I played Miami, whether it was snowing or 25 degrees, or in Denver, it was snowing that day when I was the NFL Player of the Week, when we won there. The only reason I said it was my only one, and it's not a braggadocious thing, but it was. I don't know why. It's such a weird, I guess, and having big hands, the ball never slipped out of my hand when I was playing in cold or wet. It didn't bother me. And for some reason, I never let I always used it. I thought, well, this is my advantage. I know everybody's cold, everybody's miserable. 30 degrees, even if you live in it, it's not fun playing in it. So for me, and the receivers have more trouble. But when you're not comparing the cold, but the heat, that I was the type of guy who wanted to keep my undershirts dry. So I'd go in and you change it at halftime, so you come out fresh and not having that sweat sog against you in the second half. And the humidity after about 2 plays, you're miserable again. So, and the big fellas, that'll zap you now. It's suffocating too. That's another thing. Yeah, I understand the elements on when you talk about elevation can be hard to catch your breath. But I'm going to tell you what, trying to gather air in 90-degree weather with 90% humidity, that's miserable. And then you worry about the dehydration factor, and guys can't finish, and you get shots on the sideline and all those things to get your hydration up. It can be miserable. For me, I'll take 25 degrees, 30 degrees, cold or in Denver snow and in the elevation before I'll take 90 and 95% humidity. And then flip side is, but I will take 100 degrees, 110 degrees of dry heat in Arizona or Vegas more than I will 25-degree game or elevation in Denver. I know that's an odd combo, but that's me.
Sean Salisburt with us, as he is every Friday at 7:35. Sean, let's go to last night's game, and before we get to Baker Mayfield, let's talk about Sam Darnold, a guy we've been talking about quite a bit, a guy you were very high on in the offseason, came out strong. We've talked about that quite a bit. A little bit of regression in the last couple games. So Are we looking at other teams learning him and scheming for him? Are we looking at a technical flaw in his game or something else? Nobody knows quarterbacks better than you.
No, he's a rookie. I mean, we're going to have these. Everybody right now thinks Mahomes is going to throw 800 touchdowns. He's going to have a game where he throws 4 picks. He just is. He's going to come back down to earth. I mean, Darnold looked good against Detroit and poised. He threw for almost 350 yards last week, although it wasn't as sharp as the week before. And then this week, I mean, there are 2 things I noticed. I'm going to make a guy all criticize. The one thing Sam has not learned is that when a guy's not open, you don't have to throw it to him. You don't have to fit every single football into small windows. Now, I love his guts, but there's a couple times he had no business throwing the ball. Just get rid of it. You can't force stuff that's not there. When 3 guys are surrounding one, you can't stick it in there. You're going to get yourself in trouble. And he's still learning that. And he's 21 years old. He's 21, and he will learn. He will be special. This season will be a great learning experience. He's going to have a game, and maybe next week where you're like, oh, my gosh, the guy's phenomenal. And then he looked like a rookie last night. Looked like he's supposed to look, quite frankly. And he just did. And it doesn't surprise me at all. I've said it. I said he's going to have a game where you're like, wow, that's he's going to own the AFC East. And then he's going to have a game or two where you're like, damn, why is he throwing it there? And that was last night. And in defense of him, too, a little bit, how many windows did he throw to that were 4 or 5 yards open? They could not separate. The Jets wide receivers you and I can cover the Jets wide receivers, but still Sam has to be smarter and not throw the ball there. And the truth of the matter is they probably should have run it 12 more times last night the way they were gashing the Browns running the football. But, that's you go with your feel in the game, and Sam looked like a rookie. Baker outplayed him last night. But Mayfield's going to come down to earth, too, where he's going to have a game you're like, oh, boy, that wasn't good. But last night, the energy in the building changed, and everybody's talking to some of the throws. I can tell you, as you saw my tweet in August, don't be afraid to play the young quarterback if he's better than the veteran. Now, I understand Tyrod's got experience. But as the game was going on, and then when you saw Mayfield, not just the energy, look how quickly the ball came out. There was no hesitation. There was, decisive, accurate, and I've told you, he's a 70% accuracy guy. You're either accurate or you're not. He's always going to be accurate. Games where he's not, but it's in his DNA. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go back, and I think I'm going to do a Periscope or a video today. Everybody's talking about Mayfield and all that, and they should, because the guy's unique, and we know he's the starter, and he's just got a swagger about him that I think it was probably out of the womb, but he's been a walk-on. And when you're a walk-on, you better be tough. And you better have some attitude. And that attitude of the walk-ons turned him into a Heisman Trophy winner, aside from he's got skill, a first pick of the draft, and now the starting quarterback in Cleveland, and they've got hope. He brings them hope, and he's better than Tyrod Taylor. He's just clearly better. That's the way it is. It doesn't mean Tyrod's not a decent player, couldn't start somewhere else. He's better. But I'm going to tell you, what I knew last night, I'm watching on my couch studying this game and taking notes. In the game, in the second, there was 14 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Tyrod Taylor's in a shotgun, and he's a veteran. And I'm looking at the picture, and he's directing, calling out his cadence, and the slot blitzer came off. His tight end free release, and the slot blitzer came off. It's a hot read, but the inside spot looks like throw me the ball as he's running across. Tyrod didn't even look at it. He took a sack, and I guarantee the whole world's saying, well, what's the offensive line doing? That was completely on him. If a veteran's going to make rookie mistakes or you don't understand where your side adjustments and hot reads are, play the rookie. Right in there, I swear to you, I said, Tyrod's injury, I don't know how severe it is or what have you, but this was before he got banged up. I said, you can't play him anymore. First of all, he wasn't throwing the ball. Everything was late and underthrown. And I looked at that and I said, that's what's going to get him out of the lineup. When they look at it again, you can't miss those. It's easy. Guy comes off the slot, raise up, throw the slant route, and the guy may hit his head on the goalpost, running right out the tunnel of the stadium. So those are the things that when you look at with the naked eye, it just give you. But then you can see the one on Baker Mayfield on the quick read option where he came out, flipped his hips, and threw the left slot quickly to get him on the run. He's just a better player, man. Sometimes you got to take the L and defer. And the bottom line is Tyrod Taylor's a decent quarterback. Baker Mayfield's a special DNA quarterback.
Sean, what's going on in Pittsburgh? What's going on with Antonio Brown? Can Mike Tomlin turn this thing around?
Every year, I'm so tired of the drama in Pittsburgh, dude, I am. Yet they seem to find a way always, and I picked Ben to be the offensive player of the year, not the MVP offensive player of the year. I expected huge numbers from them. He looks a step slower to me in his decisions. Their team looks just a little behind. Their defense isn't very good. Now, I've seen this movie before with Pittsburgh.
Yep.
They go through drama. They get pissed. Everybody questions them. They roll off 7 in a row. They're capable of doing it. But, Mike Tomlin's a good coach, man. They're loyal in Pittsburgh. 3 coaches in about 50 or 60 years, whatever it's been. But you start to wonder, is the speech getting old? And it's not on Mike. Antonio Brown needs to show up to practice. And I'm glad Mike said, we've disciplined him. I always just get the feeling, and I'm a Mike Tomlin fan, but sometimes I wonder, is Mike Tomlin too much like the player? You know what I'm saying? Where I don't want him to be their buddy.
Right.
I don't. I think Rex Ryan got to be too. I mean, I'm a huge Rex Ryan guy too. Love him, but I think Rex in New York and Buffalo got to the point where he was more their buddy than their. Oh my gosh, that respectful fear. When Mike Tomlin calls you into the office with Bill Belichick, you're supposed to be nervous. Like when your old man called you in, if you knew you missed class. When your dad called you in and he said, came home from school and said, I got a call today. That's how you're supposed to feel about your head coach. You're supposed to not scared, but a respectful fear. And I just wonder if Antonio or Le'Veon or Ben, I wonder, and maybe they do, because Mike's a good coach. And then when I hear a press conference, I say, okay, he's got the team handled. But there's sometimes I just wonder, do these guys look at Mike as a friend or subordinate? He's your coach, man. And you got to address it. So why Antonio Brown's missing practice, and I know why Bell's holding out. I don't know. Can they overcome the drama another year and be sitting atop the AFC North? Probably. And I also wonder if the speech is turning off, if the guys ears are plugged, when we're in the decade, a couple days, 15 years or we're 12 years, whatever it's been for Tomlin. If you're getting to the point where it's like, I've had enough of the speech, turn it off. This is not college or what have you. I don't know. But it sure looks like they're a step behind everybody else this year. Yet, I know how capable Ben is of going out and throwing 50 for 500 yards and them getting back at it. So I'll wait for about 2 more weeks to decide if they're that team or not.
Just over a minute left, Sean, but I got to ask you being in Houston, I'm sure you've been talking about this at least all season long. Deshaun Watson, such a wonderful showing last year, really exciting quarterback and one of those new age quarterbacks you looked at to kind of take the mantle. Really great debut. Obviously goes down with the injury, and he just hasn't been yet this year what he was when he got going last year. Is it the yips? Is it him still recovering? Or, again, do you see something mechanically wrong with him?
No, I just think that he's not in rhythm yet, and the question is he's hesitant. He's been late for 2 straight games. Now, he got back into it last week, but then at the end of the game tried to make a play when he should have thrown it out of bounds and given it a chance. So Bill O'Brien's struggling calling plays. I don't like, for the most part, Sean Payton's been doing it forever, and I know Mike McCarthy does it, but they got Rodgers and Breeze. I don't like the head coach who's trying to be a head coach and manage his team and timeouts and then calling the plays. I don't. But Deshaun Watson could overcome it. He's going to be great. He'll be fine, but they're just struggling. They're not getting any pressure on the quarterback on defense, and if he's not playing well, they can't win. They're not capable of winning if he doesn't play well, and I know he carries that burden. I still think he's feeling himself around. And remember, feeling it out, around the knee and the rest of it. He's only played 8 games. So we're really halfway through his rookie year, and he's coming off his 2nd knee surgery. The last guy we need to worry about on the Houston Texans is Deshaun Watson. It may take a minute, but Bill's got to get back into rhythm, and they got to play more aggressive. They're not being aggressive throwing the football right now.
That is Sean Salisbury. You can hear him each and every day on Sports Talk 790 in Houston. I believe that's 2 to 5 our time. Also, follow him online at Sean Unfiltered. I say it every week. I never get tired of it. You're the best, buddy, and we always appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you too, brother. Thank you.
All right, you take care. That's Sean Salisbury, his regular Friday hit, covering Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Deshaun Watson, and I say his, because he's a huge fan, Oakland Raiders. Dave Richard of CBS Sports up next. Get your fantasy football questions ready to go, and he will answer them to the best of his abilities. That's coming up next right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.